What? What the heck? There's got to be some keystoning happening here. Do I look like that? Good grief. Alright. Cue the curtain. Do 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 do. Curtain and reverse. Do 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 do. If you subscribe, I'm going to be sending out these nicely designed how to tie a knot. See, clothing should have maps on it. Clothing should have directions of how to save your life. Clothing manufacturers, rely on logos, Nike and stuff like this, or SpongeBob even, which is cool. But I like the idea of you look down on your T-shirt and be, oh yeah, I got 2 minutes. I'm on the trolley. I'm going to study my T-shirt. Get this, like how to make the perfect dip bag, or how to tie a knot. So if you subscribe on Christmas this year, I'm going to send out to the people who subscribe. You got to email me, and there's going to be a code word in there. And I'm going to bury the code word in one of the little diatribes I go on. So you can send the code word, then you'll get the neckerchief with it's gonna be like this, except it's not gonna just be how to tie knots. There will be how to tie certain knots, maybe, of course, but there'll be things how to make the perfect soft boiled egg, and things that you forget. I know you know these things, but you forget how to do these things. It's nice to be able to. The main thing is you look when you're in a meeting. You got to be wearing a suit, I guess, in the sales meetings. Regular guys working in regular jobs. If you're say a girl and you work at God's sakes, I don't know, some web company. But if you have your shirt like that, it's like, say it's like this, a long sleeve shirt with different pattern, and it's got instructional stuff. You could be pretending like you're listening to the meeting, but you could be looking at your shirt and studying, and list the names of presidents that have been assassinated and study that. Who knows? That's the reward for being a subscriber to my web channel. And not just one show. I'm going to have 5 shows, because the human brain can only remember 5 things at once. If you take 5 things, one, two, three, one, two. They gotta be separate things. I'm trying to. This little junk drawer I have here. It's one of the shows. One of the shows is called Junk Drawer Confidential. I go from house to house. Whoever's home. People live at home all day. Videotape what's in their junk drawer and let them talk about it. Boom, instant stories and history. So 5 shows. That's one of them. Junk Drawer Confidential. So say the reason it's 5 shows is I'll show you 5 things. There's one of that. That's the 4th. And what else? In my junk drawer, it has a story, every single thing. I'd rather not bring this up, but there's my 5 things. Just happened to grab randomly from this junk drawer of mine. This is a choo-choo train, which will come up again later. You see that? Let's get a better picture because I like it. It's got to be totally focused. There's nothing. I don't know. I can put that in still store. Then this is my broken heart. My heart fell out. People broke my heart, and this fell out of my left ear. So I got that. This battery, the Duracell, which I'm going to rechargeable, so I'm not using these batteries anymore, and you should too. And this is a 1/4-inch plug with a RCA side, and these are fancy guitar plug standard. Tip ring something, some jive ass thing. This next one is a bird call. You have to use powder. So the point is the 5 shows. You can't remember. They put a 6th show in there, and say like this thing, which is a craft brush sponge. You couldn't remember that. You can remember 5 things at once. So juggle. Once you put in a 6th, one of the other ones have to pop out like a broken heart. Boom. That's nice. I'm not going to throw it. That's so anyway, the 5 shows are, I might as well use the heart. This one, this represents a show called 5 Lawsuits. Again with the 5. I have 5 lawsuits going on, and on that channel, on my channel, on this show called 5 Lawsuits, Help Danny Win. I need 100,000 million people listen to these lawsuits. Unbelievable details. And I'm not looking to be a millionaire. I know everyone says that kind of stuff. I'm not. The stories are sickening. And the only way, they want to brush things under the carpet. The cops, lying judges, lying people who started all this. And that's the first show, the heart show. It's called 5 Heartbreaking Lawsuits. The next show is called Junk Drawer Confidential, and it's represented by the battery. And that's your junk drawer. But even a battery like this, if you go into someone's house, or you get people next door, like Seppa, if I go in and look at his junk drawer and say he has his battery, he can go on probably, easy 5-10 minutes of stories about stuff in his junk drawer. Show 2, Junk Drawer Confidential. May seem like I'm making these up, but I've thought about these. Okay, the next thing is called Celebrity Go Home. Celebrity Go Home is based on this John Wayne quote. Apparently, something goes like, the story goes like, they're like, someone talking to him, I guess, and saying like, "You're so famous," or he bragging, more like probably the story. "I'm so famous, I can go to knock on any door in the USA and knock on the door and they'll let me in for a bowl of soup. That's how famous I am." Now, I take local celebrities like who think they're famous. I got one living in this development here who's on local news. He's a total out and out gregarious kind of a guy. So take him from door to door. And great cross promotion. To do something like that with local celebrities, and then to see how many houses he can get a bowl of soup from. Best shot in the fall when soup is popular. So that's Celebrity Go Home. That's represented by the clock. Time is ticking. Can the celebrity get the bowl of soup? So that was the heart, was 5 heartbreaking lawsuits. Then the battery was the junk drawer confidential. Then this clock, train watch, was Celebrity Go Home. And then we have 2 things. You get the music and the bird call. 2 more shows. Celebrity Go Home, Junk Drawer Confidential, 5 Breaking Heart. See, I originally think I thought of 3 shows, but there's room to expand. These 2 shows, since they're 5 things, because you can't remember more than 5, and 5 is plenty of entertainment for a web channel. I mean, if I'm lucky enough to be entertaining, 5 shows, 10 minutes each, it's an hour's worth of programming. So this show here could be a show about music. I have to think of these other 2 shows. I have to invent them. And the bird call is show 3, and show 5 is the RCA. It's a guitar plug thingy. Okay, that's the Introduction to a Waste of Paper Productions web channel. Oh, the show open. The web show open for the animation that opens it is a Waste of Paper production, and you see this is the story. When I was a kid, everyone was reading the paper, or my parents had 9 kids. We're all sitting around, and I was very young, and my father was reading the paper, and my mother was watching TV and knitting something, I'm sure. She was always busy making stuff for us, and a bunch of my brothers and sisters were doing, reading comic books, or Michael was probably reading Sports Illustrated. But Michael was probably reading the paper too, and I think of it. Anyway, so I took these pads. My father he worked at the American College of Physicians, which is a place that is education for doctors, and they published films and books and magazines. And he brought home these simple notepads that everyone gets, 5x7, and a stack of them, stealing office supplies. But he was the big CPA, so it wasn't stealing. So you gotta wonder how much of the economy of the world is stolen stuff. Anyway, so I took up the comic. I was reading the comics from the Sunday paper, the color comics. That I do know. And I took a pad of one of these papers he had from the American College, a physician with a logo on it on each page, or memo from Joe Chappelle, that kind of a thing. And it was a pad of paper, and I drew every single thing from Henry, Ziggy, Peanuts guys, and halfway through this thing, I was like, wow, I can draw these things. I wasn't tracing them. I was just, to me, it was a turning point when I realized that this is fun, and I can do this. And I wasn't thinking nobody else could do this, or thought somebody else could do this. I was just having a great time after reading the comics. It was fun to then, copy them all. I made a stack. I don't know. I still have it. It's like this big, of all these things. Ferdinand was one of the comics. This could be a whole show unto itself, discussing old comics. And I love comic in the paper and stuff, Family Circle. I love the ones where you can't understand what the hell the joke is, or the panel. Say like one panel, like the Family Circus. Those things are the Family Circle, or is it Circus? Whatever it is. Those things are cool, but Dennis the Menace, or any one of them, even the serious ones. My sister used to read Prince Valiant, which I just skipped, but in recent years I like looking at the Tarzan and Prince Valiant ones, because the artists they're pretty awesome. Draftsman. Thinking of Bern Hogarth on the Tarzan stuff. I saw that at a comic book museum in Florida once, and man, once you see the real drawings, you get appreciation. When they're printed in the paper, they were terrible. So I love the comic strips that you just don't have a clue. You bring it to, you see like a Family Circle, and you're like, one of the kids is doing something or other, and I bring it to my brother or sister, and like, can you explain to me what the heck his drawing, his joke is? And they look at it. Those are worth collecting. It could be a whole collection. Oh, so to this whole comic book discussion of the daily Sunday papers and comics in general and stuff, that's a good show. That we can call the bird whistle. It's not really a whistle, it's wood and metal. And I got this for my daughter. My father bought it down near the Independence Hall. Anyway, that is the comic book. And I guess the little sound to remember the Harry Lorraine method. It's that Woodstock from Peanuts comic strip, but there's so many things there. I did have a flash of the fifth show, and now I forgot it. It'll come back to me. So that's the first. The fifth show could be just this wrap up of kind of cross promotion of what's on the other channels. So there's your 5 shows. Subscribing will help me win one of my lawsuits. And they have to be told because they're just incredibly stupid, funny stories. And then the other channels. So my channel is called A Waste of Paper Production. That's right. So I was drawing the comic strip, and I was so proud of myself, you know, whatever. And then we all went to bed that night. And my father got up and went to work. I didn't see him leave. But when I got up, going ready to go to school, I'm looking for that pad of paper to look at my drawings, and I just want to look at them again, see how, if I was dreaming, if I did anything decent. This is what I'm playing with right now. You can't see it. It's my trolley. So I was getting ready for school and found the pad of paper, and right on the front, I think it was the front drawing, I had Ferdinand. Was that the comic strip called Ferdinand? And written on it by my father was, "This is a waste of paper." So, my channel, web channel, TV web channel, YouTube web channel, A Waste of Paper Productions. And it kills me because he draws on my drawing, doesn't care about the drawings, doesn't say anything like these are good, you know. Never mind that, but a waste of paper. Hey, what? Are love notes, "I love you, honey, I'll be back later," are they waste of paper? A shopping list, is it a waste of paper? Waste of paper? It pisses me off this moment. I don't know. Now I'm getting mad. I didn't want to end this that way. I wanted to end it with my open. End it with the open, okay? So, my trolley, get inside. The trolley's coming. Where did you sit when you were in your trolley car? When you went to college and you used the trolley? That's what I did. I lifted home and took the trolley in to college, and with my art portfolio. Oh, okay. Back it up. Yep. I went on a train ride to Florida once because after 9/11 I was afraid of flying, and I hate trains now because I went on that train and Amtrak, and it was decent, I guess. It's so cramped and pretty horrible, but for an hour, I think for 4 hours, for many hours, the thing was going backwards. I mean, we went from Philly all the way down to Florida, and around Georgia there was technical difficulties, and the trolley said, "We got to back up for a little while, people," and the thing slowly backed up, and it took forever. And then David, was on the phone with him, and he's like, "How was the train? You shouldn't be afraid of airplanes." There was the train. I said, "No, the train was hell. It went for 10 hours to get to Georgia, and then for a couple hours we went backwards." The end. Oh, Waste of Paper Productions. Signing out. I didn't have fun. I hope you did, person. I did have fun. I hope it recorded.